Today's class is an intuitively led practice where I recorded my own practice and I invite you to follow along. I call this Practice with Me. This class is considered intermediate level, thus some yoga experience would be recommended. We'll begin laying on our back with our knees in our chest and our hands to our shins in a reclined child's pose. From here, we set up for reclined butterfly, planting the feet, letting the knees fall wide. You might choose one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or slide your hands under your hips as I will do here, just for a little extra support, especially if they're feeling a little tight. As you begin to settle in, notice your feet, relaxing the ankles and toes. Let your legs be heavy and your hips relaxed. Soften through the belly and the chest, relaxing your shoulders, letting your arms be heavy. Awareness on the neck and jaw, neutral and relaxed. Allow your head to be heavy and fully supported here. At any time you feel ready to release your hands from your hips, you might choose to stretch them overhead with me and melt them into the earth. We'll be here for about another minute, so you can begin to connect with the breath now, inhaling fully through the nose and exhaling completely through the nose. Do your best to maintain an even rhythm of breath now and throughout the rest of practice. On your next inhale, send your knees to touch, planting the feet. Exhaling the knees into the chest, hands to shins. Rock side to side for a few breaths. Option to join me in exhaling forehead to knees, then lower down. On your next exhale, allow your knees to fall over to the left side. Option to extend through the right leg, the top leg, and perhaps the left hand holds the right foot. You can gaze over the right shoulder with your right arm extended. Breathe deep as you inhale to expand your chest and exhale to deepen your twist. On your next inhale, take the knees to center, then allow them to fall over to the right side. Option to join me in extending the left leg, gazing over the left arm. Breathe deep into your twist. On your next inhale, guide your knees to center, hands to shins. Exhale, forehead to knees for a squeeze. Lower the head down and slide your hands under your thighs, taking 3 rocks to come up. Inhaling, exhaling, rolling back. Inhaling again, lift the heart. Exhale, take it back. Last time, inhale. Coming to seated, guide your hands behind your back and your right ankle below your left knee for a hip stretch on the right side. You can walk your hands in a little closer to lift your heart a little higher. Breathe deep with a long back. If you have knee pain on the right knee, try flexing through the right foot and see if that helps. From here, we switch sides, plant the right foot, then guide the left ankle below the right knee. You can walk yourself in a little closer, sit tall, and breathe deep into your left hip. Crossing the legs, sitting tall. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to knees, coming into seated cat pose, rounding through the back, chin to chest. On an inhale, press the chest forward as you lift the chin to cow. Exhale through cat, rounding through the back, belly button to spine. Inhale, roll the chest forward, lift the chin. Exhale one more time into your cat pose. Inhale through cow. Exhale, come to a straight spine. Inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale the left hand down with the right arm by the right ear for a side body stretch, option to look up. In my side body stretch, I like to take movement, drawing my chest down towards the ground, then inhaling to lift my chest towards the sky just to feel the stretch change. From here, inhale, come back to center, right fingertips down, left arm by left ear, hinging over to the right. Breathe deep into your left side rib cage. Inhaling back to center, sweep the arms forward and up towards the sky, then exhale, twist to your left. Inhaling to grow a little taller, exhaling to twist a little deeper, with your left hand behind, right hand to left thigh. Inhale, come to center, reaching the arms high. Exhale the other way, right hand behind, left hand to right thigh. Breathe deep as you square your chest towards the side, inhaling and exhaling, looking back. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, unwind. From here, straighten your legs long, setting up for a double leg forward fold. Inhale, reach up, long back. Exhale, fold, hinging from the hips, reaching towards your feet. We're here for about a minute, breathing into our back body and hamstring stretch. As you spend time in this pose, you might notice the body starting to loosen up a little bit, in which case you can take it a little deeper. Be mindful of lengthening the crown of the head forward, maintaining a long spine, and continue to anchor your practice with long, deep breath. On your next inhale, slowly roll up to seated, perhaps guiding your hands behind your back like me and rolling the chest open to a slight back bend. Then bend into the knees, sliding the feet off to one side, making your way onto 4 points, stacking hands under shoulders and knees under hips. Inhale through cow pose. Exhale through cat, rounding through the back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, press into the hands, maybe shift the weight back a little. Inhale through cow, exhale through cat. From cat, tuck the toes, sink the hips back to child's pose with a foot stretch. Breathe deep into your back body. On your next inhale, slowly rise up, untuck the toes, sit back on the heels. Option to lift the knees for a deeper stretch in the tops of the feet. Then exhale the knees down, make your way back to all fours, tucking the toes through downward facing dog pose. The first downward facing dog of the practice, I always like to take movement, bending one knee at a time, relaxing the head, yes and no, with the neck, and breathing deep into my back body, lengthening from hands to sit bones on inhales and sits bones towards heels on exhales. On your next inhale, roll forward and lower the knees to the ground. Point your fingers to the outer edges of the mat and shift the weight side to side for a wrist stretch. Option to join me by pointing the fingers in towards the knees and the thumbs out wide, shifting the weight back and forth, or stay in tabletop and bend one elbow at a time. I like to practice all of the above. From here, we counter by sitting back on the heels, take the back of the hand onto the thighs and straighten the arms out as much as you can, getting into the opposite side of your wrist. Gently release the pose, and it might feel nice to take a little movement with the wrists, circling them out or shaking the hands a little bit before making your way onto all fours and coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale steps the left foot outside of the left hand, lowering the right knee. From here, you can shift back and forth, dynamic movement, opening up through the left hamstring and the right hip. Breathe. From a lunge, step back to downward facing dog. Other side, right foot steps to the outside of the right hand. Again, lower the back knee and shift the weight back and forth, dynamic movement. Continue with long, deep breath. From here, we come into a yogi squat. Stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand, lower the hips between the heels, and option hands to heart, using your elbows to gently open the knees a little wider, getting into the hips. Option to join me in taking this a little deeper by guiding the left hand to the ground and the right hand just below the right knee, opening up the right hip a little more. On an inhale, come back to center and switch sides, right hand down, left hand just below the left knee, and breathe into your hip. Coming back to center, plant the hands, straighten the legs, pointing the toes forward, and slowly roll to the outside edges of the feet. Feel that stretch on the outside of the ankles and up the legs. Keeping the feet mat distance, plant the feet as you inhale through half lift and exhale fold. Inhale half lift, rise to toes, then exhale bow down. Inhale press into the hands, rise to the tiptoes if you can. Exhale lower all the way down, option hands to elbows and ragdoll, perhaps bending one knee at a time with me, breathing into a forward fold. Inhale through half lift, heel toe the feet to touch. On your next exhale, send the right foot down the mat to a lunge, lower the right knee, untuck your toes. Inhale, rise, reach up to the sky, lift your heart, open your chest, draw the belly in. Exhale the hands to the earth, step back to a plank. Inhale, exhale the knees, chest, and chin down to Ashtanga Namaskara, arching through the back. Inhale, come into a baby cobra, lift up. Exhale, lower down, head down. Inhale, roll up slowly, head is last. Exhale all the way, forehead to the earth. Last one. Inhale, lift up as high as you can comfortably. Exhale, take it down. Press back to the knees. Pause for a brief moment in child's pose, tucking the toes. Then downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths. Inhale, steps the right foot between the hands, lowering the back knee and tucking the toes. On your next inhale, reach your arms to the sky, lengthen the spine, opening your heart to a very gentle back bend, draw the belly button to spine. Exhale, hands to the earth, tuck your back toes, step your back foot to the top of the mat, half lift, exhale, fold. Take a moment in a forward fold, bending one knee at a time. Inhale through half lift, lengthen. Exhale, lunge the left foot back. This time, dynamic movement, shifting the weight back and forth. On your next exhale, step back to a plank. Inhale strong. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskara, knees, chest. Option chin, or this time tuck the chin and take the forehead down. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly lower down all the way, straighten the legs back, and inhale through a cobra pose. Press up as high as you can comfortably. On your next exhale, gently lower down all the way to the ground, then press back, tucking the toes through a child's pose just for a brief moment, then downward facing dog, and breathe. Inhale, lunges the left foot between the hands. Again, dynamic movement, shifting the weight back and forth. On your next inhale, step your back foot to the top of the mat through half lift. Exhale, bow over legs. Inhale, rise, reach up. Option to take a little back bend with me, then exhale through standing. Again, inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Relax the neck. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back through plank and lower chaturanga, elbows point back. Inhale through upward facing dog, press into the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe a few long deep breaths. On your next inhale, walk your feet through to the top of the mat, planting the feet between the hands, half lift. Exhale, bow over legs. Inhale, rise, reach up, option to back bend, lifting your heart towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down this time. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank through chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog, press into the hands. Exhale through downward facing dog. A few breaths. I like to take the opportunity in downward facing dog to draw the belly button deep towards the spine, engaging my Uddiyana Bandha energy lock. On your next inhale, rise to toes, bend through knees, walk, lunge, or hop to the top through a half lift. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, rise, reach up, option to back bend. This time, exhale through standing. Bend the knees to chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Inhale through half lift. Exhale, floater step back through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Warrior one, right foot steps through between the hands, back heel pivots down. Rise with the arms to the sky, shoulders away from the ears for 5 long deep breaths. Ensure that your front knee is tracking in line with front toes and your left rib cage is gently drawing forward, squaring your body to the front. Option to look up and take your hands to touch. One more breath. On an exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Warrior one, other side. Left foot steps through between the hands, back heel down, rise. 5 breaths. And this is where Gnarly makes her cameo appearance. On your next exhale, plant the hands on either side of the front foot, stepping back through plank and lowering chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhaling through downward facing dog. We'll spend a few extra breaths here. From here, inhale to toes, bend through knees, walk lunge or hop through the top, half lift, exhale fold. Chair pose, bend the knees, inhale the arms up. Hold this one, exhaling the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers and rolling the chest open. Exhale the chest to the thighs. Option to straighten the legs and relax the neck, gazing between the knees. Reaching the arms overhead for a deeper shoulder stretch. Take a breath. Release the hands to the ground as you inhale through half lift. Exhale through plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we come into three-legged dog, inhaling the right leg high, bending into the right knee. Then square the hips, draw the right knee towards the nose in plank pose, gently stepping the right foot through, setting up for warrior two. Inhale, rise, reach the arms wide. Take a 90-degree bend into the front knee and gaze over the front middle finger. Peaceful triangle. Inhale, press the front leg straight. Left hand to left thigh, right arm by right ear. Side body stretch. Inhale, come back to center. Extended triangle pose. Heel toe the back foot in. Exhaling the right hand down, either using your leg as a prop or catching peace fingers to big toe. Gaze up to your top hand. I like to extend my top arm by my ear, reaching the fingertips forward for a side body stretch, just for a breath. And then exhaling the hands down on either side of the front foot, setting up for pyramid pose. Stepping the back foot in, lengthening the spine, and exhale to fold over the front leg. Option to join me in taking it a little deeper by lifting the back heel off the earth for a breath or two. Walk the hands under the shoulders, inhale half lift, three-legged dog with your right leg high to the sky. Exhaling through chaturanga or chin stand. If that's in your practice, you can join me there. Lowering the legs, inhale upward facing dog, exhale downward facing dog, and breathe. From here, three-legged dog, other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bend into the knee. Draw your knee towards your nose, rounding out in plank pose. Then step the left foot through gently between the hands. Pivot the back heel down and rise to warrior two on an inhale. Inhale through peaceful triangle, pressing the front leg straight. Back hand to thigh, left arm by left ear. Inhale, lift back to center. Setting up for triangle pose, heel toe the back foot in, exhale the left hand down. Gaze up to the top thumb, press firm into the back foot, and breathe into a long spine. Top arm crosses top ear, reaching the fingertips forward for one breath. On an exhale, hands under shoulders, step the back foot in for pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Option to join me in lifting the back heel for a few breaths to deepen the stretch. Hands under shoulders, half lift, lengthen. Inhale. Sweep your left leg high to the sky for three-legged dog. Exhaling through chaturanga. Option chin stand if that's for you. Take a pause. Lower down slowly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Three-legged dog, inhaling right leg high. Exhale, bend into the knee. Draw the knee towards the nose, round through the upper back. Gently step the right foot between the hands. Through side extended, pivot the back heel down. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Option forearm to thigh instead. Peaceful triangle. Inhale, press up strong and graceful. Exhale through warrior two, then hands frame the front foot. Step the back foot up and in for revolved triangle pose. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Then exhale, sending the left hand either inside or outside of your front foot. Reach your right hand high and gaze up. Notice how drawing the right hip back deepens the stretch. Exhale the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, half lift. Setting up for half moon. Send your left leg up to the sky. Right hand under shoulder in line with the pinky toe edge of the front foot. Reach your left hand high in one long line. Flexing through the top foot and gazing up towards your top hand. Breathe. Exhale the top hand down under shoulder. We travel through standing splits just for a moment here, so any variation will do. Pause for a breath. Then lunge your left foot back, sending your right leg high to three-legged dog. Exhale through chaturanga when you're ready, option with your leg high or both legs high to chin stand. Pause in chin stand if you do. Lowering the legs, inhale upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You always have the option to take child's pose at any time throughout this practice. Three-legged dog on your next inhale, left leg high, bend into the knee. Exhale, square the hips, knee towards the nose, press firm into the hands as you step your left foot through for side extended. Pivot the back heel down, reach your right arm up and overhead. Again, option to modify with forearm to thigh. Keep the hips lifted, draw the belly in, and rotate your chest towards the sky. Inhale through peaceful triangle, take it back, firm through the legs, and on your next exhale, sink into warrior two, hands to the earth, frame the front foot, pivot to the ball of the back foot, then step the back foot in, setting up for revolved triangle. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist, right hand lands inside or outside of your left foot, gazing up. Using the breath here to inhale, grow a little longer through the crown of the head, and exhale to twist a little deeper. Exhale takes your top hand down, framing the front foot, setting up now for your half moon pose. Walk your hands forward, keep the left hand under the left shoulder in line with the pinky toe edge of your front foot. Lifting through the top leg, flex through the top foot, and look up to the top hand if you can. Breathe, and maybe take the top leg a little higher if you like that in your practice. And when you're ready, exhale the top hand down. We touch on standing splits just for a moment. Lunging your top leg back gracefully, planting the hands and sweeping your left leg high to three-legged dog. Flowing through chaturanga on your next exhale, maybe with the left leg high or both legs high, chin stand. Lower the legs slowly. Inhale, press into the arms, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Vinyasa 2, setting up for this arm balance by inhaling the right leg high. Bending into your right knee, sending your right knee as far up your arm as you can, then lengthening through both legs, shifting the weight forward so the back foot lifts. Then exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let's take a couple breaths in down dog or child's pose. Other side, inhale, left leg high, bending into the knee, shifting forward, knee towards your shoulder, then straighten through the leg. Shift the weight so the back leg lifts. Pause. When you're ready, step back chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And let's take a breath or two. Inhale, steps the right foot between the hands and lower the back knee to a low lunge pose. On an inhale, rise up with hands to thigh. Option to stay like this in Hanumanasana or join me by taking a back bend. Interlace the fingers behind the back, pointer fingers are long, roll the shoulder blades in towards each other. Inhale to lift the heart and exhale to take it back. Draw your belly button towards your spine to protect your low back and ensure your front knee is tracking in line with front toes. Lead with the heart as you inhale, come forward, planting the hands, shifting back to half splits. Lengthen the spine and exhale, fold. Flexing through your right toes to help deepen the stretch through the right hamstring. Breathe a few long, deep breaths. Exhale, come forward, bend back into the front knee. Left hand stays under left shoulder as the right arm reaches up and back for your left foot. Breathing here into a quad stretch. I like to practice by guiding my heel in towards my hips, but that's optional and only if it feels right. On an exhale, gently release the back foot down, frame the front foot with your hands, shift back through half splits, stay, or slide your heel a little further forward, maybe all the way down into full splits Hanumanasana. We're going to be here for a little bit, as this is what I would consider the peak pose of today's practice. So if you need to prop yourself here with blocks and pillows, do that, whatever it takes so that you can relax a little bit and get comfortable. Forward folding is optional if that feels accessible. Otherwise, remain elevated with a long spine and continue to breathe a long, deep breath. You always have the option to come out a little early if you need to. Otherwise, we'll be here for a bit longer. If you find yourself all the way down on the ground, you might walk yourself to the inside of your right thigh like I'm demonstrating here, as this is just a way to help deepen the stretch, if that feels okay. Continue to breathe a few more long, deep breaths. On your next inhale, you can begin to press up slowly. We ease out of this pose gently by coming back into a lunge. Then from there, option to sweep your right leg high if it feels accessible, perhaps circling the knee like I'm demonstrating here. Feels good to release the hip. You can come back to downward facing dog, roll through plank and chaturanga on an exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Then step the left foot through between your hands and lower the back knee, prepping for the other side. Inhale, rise, crossing arms over thigh, and breathe into your hips. Option to take a back bend on this side, interlacing the fingers, open your chest, inhale. Exhale, pointer fingers long, reaching towards the earth. Breathe. Inhale leads your heart forward, taking the hands down, framing the front foot, straighten through the left leg as you shift back to half splits. Exhale, fold over your leg. Take a few breaths, flexing the toes towards the crown of the head to deepen the stretch. Inhale, roll through low lunge, setting up for a quad stretch. Right hand under right shoulder, left hand reaches back for right foot. Option to guide your heel a little closer in towards your hip for the last couple of breaths here. Gently release your back foot down, pivot to the front, and shift back through half splits. Inhale, exhale through Hanumanasana splits. Take your variation on this side, propping yourself as needed, perhaps under the thigh. Sitting tall, stay here, inhale. Option to bow down when you're ready on an exhale. Option to walk your hands to the inside of your left thigh to deepen the stretch. However, it's totally fine to come out early at any time that you feel you need to. Gently make your way back into a low lunge. Option to tuck your back toes and send your left leg high to three-legged dog, bending into the knee and circling the knee, really just releasing the hip. Option to child's pose, or join me in flowing it out through chaturanga, inhaling through plank, exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we come into side plank on the right side. Roll forward and to the outside edge of the right foot. Option to extend through the top leg, catching peace fingers to big toe with me, and pause for a couple of breaths. I love to practice transitions, so from here I chose on a whim to come into skandasana. Send your left foot to the top of the mat, point the toes to an angle, Sink the hips towards the heels and flex your right toes up towards the sky. Option to keep hands to heart, open the arms wide, or reach around for a bind. Pause for a couple of breaths. Circle your hands to the top of the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Pause for a breath, perhaps bending one knee at a time with me, before setting up for the other side, rolling through plank, then to the outside edge of the left foot. Option, catch peace fingers to right big toe and hold. Transition through skandasana. Slowly send your right foot forward, pivot on the back foot, sinking the hips down towards the ground. Hands to heart, open the arms, or take a bind with me. Exhale to release the bind. Pivot to the top of the mat, stepping back to downward facing dog. Stay in down dog or join me in child's pose. Big toes touch, knees together or knees wide, stretching your arms long and resting your head down. Reconnect with the breath. On an inhale, rise up to seated, setting up for boat pose Navasana. Center yourself on the mat. Then rise up onto your sits bones, bending into the knees. Option to lift the feet in line with the knees or straighten the legs long. Keep the hands in line with the shoulders and breathe as you lift your heart. Option to catch peace fingers to big toes. Then round through the back as you roll into a plow pose. Keep the right peace fingers hooked as you release your left leg to the ground. Draw your forehead as close to your shin as possible, really using your core here. The left hand stays on the left hip to help keep it grounded down. Inhale gently lowers the head, and exhale opens your right leg to the right. Option to point your heel up towards the sky and your toes towards the ground, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale your right leg to center. Exhale forehead to shin. Inhale the head down. Exhale the left leg back up. Catch peace fingers to big toes. Option to roll into plow pose. From here, release only the right leg to the ground, keeping the left peace fingers to big toe, drawing the forehead towards the shin. Again, use your core here with your right hand on your right thigh to ground the hip down. Inhale the head towards the ground, then exhale opens the left leg to the left, heel high. Breathe as you look over your right shoulder. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale forehead to shin. Inhale the head down. Exhale, release the left leg to match right. Inhale the arms overhead, interlacing the fingers to a long morning stretch. Then exhale the knees into the chest, hands to shins, rock side to side. Guide your hands under your thighs and inhale, rock up through seated. Take yourself down the long edge of your mat, extending through the left leg, bending into the right knee, heel in towards your hip. On an inhale, reach your arms to the sky, lengthen your spine, and with a long spine, exhale, fold over your right shin. Breathe here into your inner thigh on the left side, and your right hip. We'll be here for a few long, deep breaths. On your next inhale, slowly roll up and let's switch sides. Extend through the right leg, bending into the left knee this time. Inhale, reach up, long spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips over the left shin. Relax and breathe. Inhale, rise, let the head be last. Then center yourself down your mat facing the front and make your way onto your back with your knees in your chest. From here we twist. Let your knees roll over to the left. Option left hand to top thigh, helping to guide the knees closer to the earth as you gaze over your right shoulder with your right arm extended. On your next inhale, gently guide your knees to center and exhale them over to the right. Right hand to top thigh, gazing over the left shoulder. Every exhale allows your left shoulder to melt a little deeper into the earth. Inhale lifts the knees to center, hands to shins. Exhale, forehead to knees for a rounding squeeze. Slowly inhale the head down last. Straighten the legs, point the toes, and reach the arms overhead to a long morning stretch. Then settle into final rest. Take the feet wide, let the toes fall open to the side. One hand to heart, one hand to belly is my preference, but you might also choose arms by your sides with the palms up, or stretch your arms overhead and rest them into the ground. Take a great big inhale, filling the belly and chest with air. Then exhale, let it go out the mouth, cleansing breath. Allow your body to breathe naturally now, settling into Shavasana for the next 5 minutes or so. I'll wake you then. You can begin to deepen the breath. Awaken the body with fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. Point your toes as you inhale the arms overhead to a long morning stretch. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Rolling the head from side to side, releasing the neck, and guiding the knees into the chest. Eventually making your way to a seat. I really do appreciate that you chose to practice with me today, so thank you very much. If you enjoyed the class, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. Also, consider subscribing to my channel. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next one. Namaste.